My travel diary, journey to the Gorakh Hills Station. Traveling is a way of reconnecting with nature and, most importantly, with ourselves. My trip to the Gorakh Hills Station was one such experience. Knowing my love for travel, my parents broke the news 2 days before my birthday that the celebration would be held at the Gorakh Hills Station. It is situated at an elevation of 5,690 feet from the sea level and is the highest summit and a holiday resort in Sindh. I'm sure you will enjoy reading my travel accounts of Gorakh Hills and appreciate how awesome they are. We started the journey at break of dawn, in an air-conditioned bus. A group of 14 tourists welcomed us, and a glance made me realize that there were about 4 teenagers, which meant that the trip was likely to be fun. I took a seat near the window, and our long-awaited trip started from Karachi. The guide explained the journey and the route we would be taking. He also distributed flyers that had details about the resort. After crossing the toll plaza on the motorway, I turned on my Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, to search for the route to our final destination. I checked the route on my mobile, and the GPS, geographic positioning system, showed that the area that we were crossing was Nuriabad, and that we had traveled 83 kilometers. Looking out of the window, I could see newly constructed housing schemes and smoke coming out from the factory chimneys. After traveling a little more, we crossed Jamshoro. On my right, I could see some glimpses of the mighty Indus. Some fishermen were laying nets to catch fish for the day. On the mobile application, I could see that the city of Hyderabad was right across the river. The guide announced on the public address system that we would take a small detour and go to the Almanzar Hotel on Kotri Barrage for a quick cup of steaming hot tea and parathas. The barrage was a colossal bridge-like structure, constructed over the mighty river. I quickly made friends during the break and was sure that the rest of my trip would be exciting. On our next leg of the trip, we took the Indus Highway, which runs along the right bank of the river. Industry cash crops are grown in this region. I could spot bullocks as well as tractors being used for farming. The bus rumbled on and soon the guide announced that we would be reaching Saiwan in a while, where we would be breaking our journey for a quick visit to the shrine of Lal Shahbaz Calendar, a highly revered Sufi saint. This visit was an incredible experience, as people from all walks of life come to the saint's shrine to pay homage. It is commonly believed that a visit to this shrine can provide healing for all types of illnesses. The spiritual atmosphere, the aromatic fragrance of incense and red roses, and the colorful spreads took me to another world. Our final destination was, of course, the Gorakh Hills, which was a good 4 hours from Saiwan. On leaving Saiwan, we were served lunch, in nicely packed lunch boxes, on the bus. The lunch comprised spicy fish caught from the Muncher Lake, which was situated close to Saiwan. We washed it down with fresh, refreshing sugar cane juice supplied in disposable glasses. The tour operator had arranged the lunch from Saiwan. The guide and the driver warned us in advance that the comfort of the bus drive would soon be over. At the foot of the Gorakh Hills we were transferred to a jeep for a steep, uphill drive to reach the summit. The steep zigzag 4-kilometer ride made my mother and a few elders sick, but we were well prepared to handle the problem. On reaching the peak, I felt that I was on top of the world, surrounded by steep slopes and rugged beauty. However, as luck would have it, all rooms were occupied, and we had to rent tents for our night stay. My family fixed our tent on a small flat piece of land overlooking Baluchistan in the west. This location was a perfect vantage point for watching the sunset. After a light dinner, when I stepped out of the tent, with a steaming cup of tea in my hand, I found myself under a canopy of stars, under which we lit the bonfire. We were all in a very good mood and had great fun indulging in activities such as betbatsi, Chinese whisper, sharing funny stories, and all sorts of childish games that we could think of. The sparkling golden hues of the fire, the crackling of the wood, the bright stars above, and the warmth of friends gathered around the fire made time come to a standstill. Waking up early in the morning, I wasn't aware that the best was yet to come. As I stepped out, one witnessed a sunrise that was one that one would witness in a painting or a movie, and the clouds were gradually descending all around us. It was spellbinding to see floating clouds, which Jay could touch, to smell the fragrances of different herbs, which tranquilized my senses, and to hear the distant bleating of sheep grazing around. I was still admiring the beauty when I heard people singing "Happy Birthday" behind me. Turning around, I saw that my parents and friends were carrying a huge cake with candles on it. Things had been planned to the last detail. A beautiful rug had been spread out for the cake-cutting ceremony. I was deeply touched by my parents' love and meticulous arrangements. The cake cutting was followed by Haliva Puri for all. However, all good things have to come to an end. Soon after breakfast, we packed our belongings and said goodbye to the most awe-inspiring holiday resort of Sindh. On our way back, we took a different route and traveled from the Dadamoro Bridge. The guide announced that, from there, we would cross the river Indus to go to the other bank to continue our journey. The landscape here was greener as compared to the right bank. On the way, we stopped at Hala to buy some souvenirs from roadside shops. We also glimpsed the historical city of Madiari in the distance. Earlier, the guide had announced that we were passing close to Bit Shah, where the shrine of one of the world's greatest poets, Hazrat Shah Abdul Latif Bhai, R.A., is located. Finally, we crossed through the city of Hyderabad and reached the motorway on which we had traveled the day before from Karachi. This journey gifted me with new friends, abundant excitement, and fun. Overall, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. How true was Ibn Battuta when he said that travel leaves you speechless, and then turns you into a storyteller.